Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a really fascinating and a rapidly expanding sector that might just surprise you. The global hemostatic pad market.
Hmm.
For those maybe not familiar, hemostatic pads are these specialized medical dressings, right?
Right.
They're designed to stop bleeding fast.
Crucial stuff. Surgeries, trauma care.
Exactly. Even everyday procedures, they're, well, absolutely critical in modern healthcare.
Yeah.
So, we've dug into a detailed report from Cognitive Market Research. It covers trends from 2021 right through to 2033.
A good long view.
Yeah, and our goal here is to extract the most important nuggets, give you a shortcut to being well-informed on this vital and growing sector.
And it's important to remember this deep dive isn't just about the numbers themselves, so they are impressive.
Right.
It's really about seeing where a critical piece of medical tech is expanding so rapidly. And, what that actually tells us about broader shifts in global healthcare trends and priorities.
Oh, okay.
It's like a window into where investment and development are really happening worldwide.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with the big picture, the global view.
Let's do it.
When we look at the global market for these hemostatic pads, what just jumps out immediately is the sheer scale of the growth they're projecting.
Really does.
Back in 2021, the market was just under $1 billion in sales revenue, around $995 million.
Right.
But the projections, they're pretty striking. By 2033, that figure is expected to skyrocket to over $3 billion.
Wow. Over 3.1 billion, yeah.
We're talking the market more than tripling in, what, just over a decade?
Yeah, driven by a really powerful compound annual growth rate, the CAGR.
The CAGR, yeah.
Right.
It's nearly 10%, 9.947% to be exact.
What's really compelling here, I think, isn't just the overall size of that growth, but how sustained it seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't some, flash in the pan. The report suggests consistent, rapid acceleration over more than 10 years,
Right.
which really points to these pads becoming, increasingly indispensable in global medical practice.
It sounds like a fundamental shift in how we approach, efficient blood control in healthcare settings everywhere.
Exactly, a core component.
Okay, so now let's zoom in a bit. North America, it's always been a global leader in medical technology.
A major player for sure.
And while it's already a massive market, the projections here also show consistent, strong growth.
Still climbing.
Yeah, its market value is set to nearly triple. It was roughly $395 million in 2021.
Right.
Projected to hit almost $1.2 billion by 2033. That's like $1.189 billion.
Still a very healthy CAGR there too, around 9.5%.
It really underscores the maturity, but also the continued investment in healthcare infrastructure across the continent.
Definitely.
Interestingly, while the U.S. obviously dominates,
Of course.
making up about $305 million of that 2021 figure and projected to hit almost $900 million itself by 2033.
Still growing strong at over 9% CAGR.
But we're seeing some surprisingly strong acceleration from both Canada and Mexico, too.
Yeah, that caught my eye.
Canada started around $45 million in 2021, expected to reach almost $150 million by 2033. That's a CAGR over 10%.
Over 10.4%, yeah.
That's significant. And Mexico also shows really robust growth, from about $45 million to over $140 million by 2033, almost a 10% CAGR there, too.
We're around 9.96%.
So it really highlights that while the U.S. is like the behemoth, this growth isn't just concentrated there, is it?
No, exactly. And that's a key point. The strong performance from Canada and Mexico, it signals this broader regional investment in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving beyond just the established U.S. market.
Oh.
It indicates rising standards of care, increasing access to advanced medical tools across the whole continent.
That makes sense. Okay, so moving across the Atlantic, Europe,
Right.
also seeing significant expansion, but maybe with some more fascinating regional nuances here.
Yeah, a bit more varied, perhaps.
The overall European market is forecasted to rise from just under $300 million in 2021, so about $287 million, to almost $900 million by 2033, around $872 million. Still a strong CAGR, nearly 10%, 9.6%.
Very solid growth across the board.
And among the notable countries, you've got the UK and Germany showing, solid growth, both around 8-9% CAGR.
Yeah, Germany from about 44 million to 126 million, UK from 37 to 105 million. Steady.
But France is really standing out.
It is, yeah.
An impressive CAGR of almost 11%.
Yeah.
Projected to reach over $108 million by 2033 from about $32 million.
That 10.996% is definitely eye-catching. Italy, too, showing strong growth.
Italy, right, over 10% CAGR as well, going
Yep.
from about $21 million to $67 million.
10.198%. Very strong.
Russia, Spain, they're also growing well, around 9% and 8.7% CAGR respectively. And then you have these smaller but still vital markets, Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, Luxembourg.
All showing decent growth. Key GRs between, 6.7% and 8.4%?
Yeah, exactly, adding solid millions to the total.
Right.
But what's particularly impressive, I thought, was the rest of Europe segment.
Ah, yes, the collective group.
It's projected to more than triple its market size, from $66 million in 2021 to over $225 million by 2033.
And that's a significant CAGR, 11.023%.
Wow.
Yeah, this diversification of growth within Europe is quite telling, I think.
How so?
Well, the robust performance of countries like France and Italy, alongside the substantial growth in the rest of Europe category,
Yeah.
it indicates that healthcare infrastructure development is really broadening out.
Okay.
It's moving beyond just the traditional economic powerhouses. It shows a widespread commitment to improving medical capabilities across the continent.
Got it. Okay, now let's turn to what seems like the real powerhouse of growth, Asia Pacific.
Ah, yes. Definitely the highest growth region overall, it seems.
The report says the market there is set to, well, explode.
Explode is a good word for it.
Overall, Asia Pacific starts under $200 million in 2021, about $186 million. But it's projected to reach over $600 million by 2033. That's $627 million at a whopping 10.931% CAGR.
Just shy of 11% on average across that huge region. Incredible.
China leads the region, started at about $55 million, set to hit over $175 million by 2033.
Still a strong key GR there, over 10.5%.
Japan also sees significant growth, follows China, rising from about $39 million to $121 million.
Solid base, solid growth.
But here's where it gets, truly remarkable. India.
Yes. India's numbers are something else.
It sees this powerful rise, projected to more than quadruple its market size by 2033.
From $24.5 million to over $94 million.
With an incredible KGR of over 12%, 12.156%.
That's huge growth. Really speaks to the development happening there.
And there are other really strong contributors, too. South Korea is nearly 10% CAGR. Australia, a bit lower, around 7%.
Still steady.
But then look at Singapore, an amazing 12.4% CAGR.
Wow, 12.435%. Even higher than India.
And Southeast Asia as a whole, a similarly high 12.3% CAGR. Taiwan's also strong at 8.6%.
So the demand is just surging across large parts of Asia Pacific.
It seems like it.
Yeah, and that rapid expansion, particularly when you highlight India, Singapore, and Southeast Asia with those exceptionally high growth rates. It implies a fundamental increase in healthcare access and development in the region.
Yeah.
This isn't just about market size expanding in a vacuum.
Right.
It's reflecting, potentially hundreds of millions gaining access to more advanced medical care, which naturally drives the demand for essential tools like these hemostatic pads.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, next stop, South America.
Another region showing pretty robust and accelerating growth, according to the report.
Yeah, South America's market is projected to more than triple as well, going from around $67 million in 2021.
$66.694 million.
Over $230 million by 2033.
$230.159 million, yeah. With a really solid CGR, actually slightly higher than Asia Pacific's overall.
Over 11%, 11.093%.
That's right.
Brazil leads the region, started around $22 million, poised to hit over $73 million by 2033.
Good growth there, over 10.6% CGR.
But Argentina and Colombia, they're showing incredibly strong momentum.
They really are.
Argentina jumps from about $8.8 million to over $32 million by 2033. Colombia from about $5.7 million to nearly $21 million.
And both KGRs are approaching 12%. Just under, but very close. That's remarkable acceleration.
Peru and Chile also show strong growth, the report notes. And similar to Europe, the rest of South America category is also climbing rapidly, from $25.7 million to over $90 million by 2033.
With a robust AGR over 11%. About 11.4%.
So what's the story there, that high overall KGR for the region?
Well, connecting the dots, that significant 11% plus GR for South America as a whole really indicates substantial investment and development in healthcare infrastructure across these emerging economies.
Okay.
It's a pretty clear signal of rising medical capabilities, improving patient care standards. As these countries modernize their health systems, they increase access to the kinds of procedures where hemostatic pads are vital.
Right, makes sense. Okay, let's bring it home now with the Middle East and Africa.
Two regions with particularly compelling growth narratives, as you said earlier.
The Middle East market is expanding steadily from about $38 million in 2021
$37.8 million.
to nearly $96 million by 2033.
So more than doubling.
Yeah, and the report mentions countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, UAE, Egypt, Qatar,
Yeah.
all contributing with CAGRs somewhere between 7% and just under 9%.
Solid, consistent growth across the key players there.
But now, for what really stands out, Africa.
The big reveal, yes.
Africa is projected to witness the highest regional aging CAGR globally.
That's the headline number, isn't it?
An astounding 13.1%, 13.106% to be precise.
Wow. Highest by a fair margin.
It's growing from a smaller base, around $22 million in 2021.
$21.899 million.
But projected to hit over $90 million by 2033. So more than quadrupling.
Incredible leap.
And notably, the report highlights Nigeria, South Africa, and the rest of Africa segment, all showing exceptionally high CAGR rates over 12%.
Really strong emerging market potential shining through there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Africa's projected growth, that leading rate globally, it truly stands out. It indicates a significant and crucially accelerating push in healthcare development and investment across the continent.
Mm-hmm.
This implies rapid improvements in medical infrastructure, maybe a dramatic increase in access to more advanced care across these dynamic markets. Definitely a region to watch very closely for medical innovation and adoption.
So, okay, we've covered a lot of numbers, a lot of regions. But for you, our listener, let's try and synthesize this. What are the most critical underlying drivers here?
Right.
What's really fueling this kind of explosive global growth across the hemostatic pad market? Is it like more about new fancy medical procedures, or is it a shift in standard care globally, or?
That's a great question because it's certainly not just one single thing powering this.
Yeah.
This widespread growth seems to be largely driven by, I'd say, three overarching factors identified in the report.
Wait, what are they?
Okay, firstly, there's continuous technological innovation in medical devices themselves.
Makes sense. Better products?
Exactly. Leading to more effective, safer, maybe easier to use hemostatic solutions. These aren't just simple pads anymore. They're becoming increasingly sophisticated. Maybe new materials, new delivery mechanisms, making them more indispensable.
Got it. Factor 1, tech innovation.
Factor 2, and we've touched on this quite a bit in the regional dives, is the ongoing significant development in healthcare infrastructure.
Right. More hospitals, clinics.
Precisely. Particularly in those rapidly expanding economies we saw in Asia-Pacific, South America, and, of course, Africa. More facilities, more trained professionals. It simply means more demand for these crucial tools.
Okay. Infrastructure development, number 2.
And finally, number 3, there's just a general increase in healthcare demands globally.
Why is that?
Well, various reasons. Things like aging populations in many parts of the world requiring more surgeries, perhaps a rise in certain chronic diseases needing intervention, or simply expanded access to medical care and health insurance in developing regions. All of those factors naturally increase the need for efficient blood control solutions like hemostatic pads.
So tech innovation, infrastructure growth, and rising global healthcare demand.
Those seem to be the key pillars supporting this impressive market expansion.
Right. So for you, our listener, the core takeaway here is pretty clear, isn't it? The global hemostatic pad market is undergoing this truly massive, sustained expansion.
Across all continents.
Yeah, across all continents, driven by these crucial advancements and fundamental shifts in global healthcare. It's, like you said earlier, much more than just a product.
It's a reflection of where medical innovation and healthcare infrastructure are really flourishing.
Okay, so summarizing those driving forces again.
Technology, regional development, and increasing global demand. Those are the key forces at play.
Right.
And this raises, I think, an important question for you listening to consider. This isn't just about the growth trajectory of one specific medical product, right?
Yeah.
It's a really telling indicator of where healthcare innovation and infrastructure are genuinely advancing worldwide, particularly in those rapidly developing regions we highlighted.
Yeah.
It really highlights, I think, a global commitment, perhaps implicit, to improving patient outcomes through more effective medical solutions.
Absolutely. Which leads us to a final thought for you to mull over.
Hmm.
Given these incredible projections, these really high growth regions we've uncovered, like parts of Asia, South America, and especially Africa,
Mm-hmm.
what new medical innovations or maybe broader shifts in global healthcare priorities do you think we'll see emerge alongside this growth in the coming decade? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about.
We appreciate you joining us for this deep dive. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something that seems maybe a bit niche, but it's actually incredibly important: the global market for hemostatic pads.
Right, really.
Exactly. So our mission here is to sift through the data, the reports we've looked at, and pull out the key insights for now.
Mm-hmm.
What's driving this market? What are the roadblocks? And what's coming next?
Mm-hmm.
We want to give you a clear picture of this essential medical area, especially these pads, which are, well, they're critical for stopping bleeding fast.
And their use is spreading definitely beyond just the operating room.
Right. Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's find out why these, relatively small things are making such a big impact.
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? How they directly connect to saving lives globally. The number one driver, no question, is the rise in surgeries worldwide. And trauma cases, too.
Right, more procedures, more accidents.
Exactly. Think about it. Operating rooms, ERs, ambulances, even military situations. There's this constant, very urgent need to control bleeding immediately.
And these pads help with that efficiency.
Directly. They improve how smoothly surgery goes, and, crucially, they lead to much better patient outcomes. It's a very direct link.
So it's not just the number of surgeries, but also maybe the complexity or the settings changing.
That's part of it, yes. The diversity of settings is growing.
Okay, so beyond those really intense, high-stakes situations, where else are these pads showing up? Is it just hospitals?
Good question. No, not at all. We're seeing a really significant trend towards use in outpatient clinics and even home care settings.
Home care.
Yes. Think about things like after someone has a catheterization procedure or just managing minor bleeds at home.
Okay.
They're easy to use. They work fast.
Yeah.
And that's especially helpful for people on, say, anticoagulants, blood thinners,
Right, or even a small cut could be an issue.
Precisely. So they offer a simple, effective way to manage wounds outside the hospital.
I'm really curious about the pads themselves. Like, what are they made of? Is that changing? Because you hear about material science advances all the time.
Oh, definitely. This is where it gets really interesting, actually. The innovation in materials is, it's pretty groundbreaking. We're seeing these newer generation pads that use things like chitosan, collagen, oxidized cellulose.
Chitosan, what's that?
It's derived from shellfish, actually. And it works by actively attracting blood cells, which speeds up the clotting process quite dramatically.
Wow, okay.
And then you have things like oxidized cellulose, which is cool because it's bioabsorbable.
Meaning the body absorbs it?
Exactly. It dissolves safely over time, so you don't always need to remove it, which means less fuss, less irritation for the tissue.
That sounds like a big step up.
It is. It means much better absorption, much faster clotting, and they're more biocompatible, safer for the body. And that's opening doors, not just in high-level medical settings, but maybe even for consumer first aid, too.
So, okay, we've got this picture of incredible innovation and growing demand. Sounds almost too good to be true. There must be challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like with any advanced medical tech, there's a flip side.
Which is usually?
Cost, often. That's a primary restraint here.
Yeah.
These advanced pads, they work brilliantly, but they come with a premium price tag.
Right. And that puts pressure on budgets.
Exactly. Especially in, say, public healthcare systems or hospitals in less wealthy regions, they're already stretched thin. So this raises important questions about access, equity in healthcare.
Makes sense. What else?
Well, there are still some concerns, sometimes, about allergic reactions or biocompatibility, particularly with pads that might use animal-derived ingredients like certain types of collagen.
So for sensitive patients.
Yes, or in places with really strict medical regulations that can limit their use.
And I guess just getting the word out is a challenge too, like awareness.
That's another good point, especially in maybe more rural areas or lower income regions. Traditional methods, gauze and pressure, they're still the go-to, partly because these newer options just aren't as available, or maybe local healthcare providers aren't fully trained on them yet. Awareness and accessibility are definitely hurdles.
Okay, but let's shift gears a bit. Let's look ahead. What are the trends shaping the future here? Because it feels like this is just the beginning for these pads.
It really does seem that way. One big trend is seeing them integrated much more into military trauma kits and standard emergency responder kits.
That makes perfect sense. Size and speed.
Exactly. Think about a soldier in the field or a paramedic at a crash scene. Time is critical, right? That golden hour. These pads are compact, they work incredibly fast, they're becoming essential tools for first responders, disaster relief teams,
Saving vital minutes.
potentially saving lives, yes.
And you mentioned materials earlier. Is sustainability playing a role now? Because that seems to be touching everything.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Sustainability is really coming into focus in the medical device world, too. Manufacturers are actively working on it.
How so? Like greener materials.
Yes, developing more eco-friendly options and focusing more on those bioabsorbable materials we talked about.
The ones that dissolve.
Right. Because that fits with a growing demand for, green medical solutions.
Yeah.
Plus, it simplifies things after the procedure. Less medical waste, easier cleanup, that's a plus in cosmetic surgery, or minimally invasive stuff where you want things neat and tidy.
Interesting. And are they moving beyond human medicine? You see that sometimes with medical tech.
You do. And yes, that's another expanding area. We're seeing these pads make their way into sports medicine for athletes' injuries.
Oh, okay, like on the sidelines.
Could be. And also veterinary use.
For pets.
For pets, for livestock, potentially.
Yeah.
They're effective for treating injuries quickly and safely in animals, too. It just shows their versatility, doesn't it? From a, complex human surgery to a cut on your dog. Reliable, fast bleeding control.
It's quite a journey we've taken then through this hemostatic pad market from, life-saving roles in surgery and trauma to popping up in home first aid. And looking at the incredible material science, but also grappling with challenges like cost and just getting them to where they're needed. It's clear these pads, small as they are, sit at the intersection of some really big forces in healthcare.
Definitely.
So what does this all mean for you listening?
Well, hopefully this deep dive has given you a really solid grasp of this vital medical segment. You're now pretty well informed on something that genuinely makes a difference every day.
And maybe just a final thought to leave you with. Think about how something seemingly specific, like a hemostatic pad, actually reflects these much bigger global trends, trends in healthcare access and materials technology, even in how we manage resources.
It's a microcosm.
Kind of, yeah. It's a concrete example of these often unseen innovations that are constantly working behind the scenes to improve our health and safety. Makes you think, doesn't it, about how even small advancements can ripple outwards across the whole healthcare system.